Thanks for joining us, everybody. Vic McCarty, my name is 26. We're in Cadillac. We're actually the office of the prosecuting attorney in Wexford County, Jason Elmore. Good morning.
Morning, Vic. Thanks for being here.
You just got on the job not too long ago. January 1st was day one. How have things gone in this transitional period?
Been going pretty well. You know, I've got a great team of law enforcement. I've got a couple great attorneys here working in the office, and I also have a great staff. So as far as coming into the job, I came into the right job with the right amount of people and the right people who helped me do it.
And you're a Cadillac boy, correct?
Yeah, my family's actually been here now for 5 generations.
Yeah.
So.
And you went into the Army. Explain your Army background.
Sure. After college, I went to law school, and then after law school, I went to the Army. I became a judge advocate general officer, which means I'm an attorney working in the military.
Yeah.
And I spent 6.5 years in active duty, and then came back here to Cadillac in 2004. After that, I joined the reserves. In fact, I deployed a couple years ago to the Middle East in 2013, where I was a prosecutor overseas.
And you are a lieutenant colonel in the reserves, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I am a lieutenant colonel. I do appellate work, defense appellate work, out of Fort Belvoir, Virginia. So basically, anybody who gets a court-martial in the military gets an automatic right to have their case reviewed, and it comes to our offices. And as a reservist, that's what I do.
I was under the impression that when you started day one here at this job, you were given a very large stack of things to do. So you must be a very busy person.
I like to tell people it's like drinking from a fire hose,
Yeah.
and it's like getting on a highway that's already going, and it's just got a constant flow. So I did come in. You know, the predecessor did a very good job, but obviously there were cases that were still on the docket that I ended up inheriting. So.
And now you're part of a program called Investing Kids. Can you kind of explain what that is?
Sure. There is an organization called the Strong Council for America, and within that they have 4 different sub-agencies, and one of them is called Fight Crime, Invest in Kids. It's been around now for about 20 years. And the whole objective is to recognize that young kids who get involved in criminal activity early, you want to have them avoid that problem of recidivism, repeat offenses. And what the organization does is not only about educating local communities, but also our local government offices and agencies to find ways to help children who might be involved in criminal activity to avoid a life of crime or having it impact their lives.
How does this compare to, and I'll go back to my days as a child, seeing the Scared Straight program. How does that kind of compare to all that?
Well, I'd say that what we have today is we have a lot of different problems that you and I didn't face when
Right.
we were kids. We have the access to the internet, social media, and things like that. I mean, our children are exposed to a lot of other issues. And so we focus today on education. Mm-hmm. And for instance, I go to the schools and will talk to schools and students about issues involving sexting, drugs, and things like that. It's also helping kids realize the impact that comes down the road. For instance, criminal conviction nowadays can prohibit anybody from getting a job. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that information is so accessible on the internet. So we have things that we're exposed to, that our children are exposed to. We also have a significant impact in our economy, what even a small blemish in somebody's career or history could have. So Invest in Kids is about helping educate communities and our local government on ways to help children not only avoid criminal activity, but see how it impacts their lives further down the road.
And it has sort of a twofold. It's keeping kids and maybe educating them to stay out of a life of crime, if you want to put it that way, but also the burden to society. If we start incarcerating people, the more we incarcerate them, the more it costs society.
You know, and that's correct. And one of the things, some of the other things that we see is, we have a higher divorce rate, things like that. And so there is a problem that as a family, as a community, I like to call it, we can help invest in our children and our time. And again, so it's all about education, helping children and families, importantly. And I did leave that out earlier. Families realize what they can do to help their children avoid those pitfalls.
Yeah. Jason Elmore, brand new prosecuting attorney in Wexford County. And did you play ball at Cadillac High School?
I did play football. I do not want to talk about a record, but I also ran a track. And then, So yeah, I was a runner. Then I went and ran at Hope College. So, let's not talk about our football career.
Right. Very nice to meet you. Thanks for making time.
Thanks, Lon.
In Cadillac, at the courthouse or near the courthouse in the office of the prosecutor, I'm Vic McCarty from My News 26.